Ooh. Forgot I was not in the other valley. Oh no! Alright guys, we are back. We are on Eternity Isle. And we are going to see what is going on with all of this. Let's find Merlin and talk to him. And that way we can see where Jafar is. Well, we know where he is. He's locked in that palace, but see what we can do to get him out.
Oh, hello.
We must stop Jafar meddling with the spark of imagination. The color is slowly draining out of everything, and those mysterious rifts throughout the isle are a very ill omen. That is indeed the question, isn't it? We should start by investigating the strangest phenomenon happening on the isle. That is, have you noticed anything odd happening with Mickey? Yeah. I'm afraid so. He appears to be flickering in black and white. It's almost as if Mickey is caught between the present and the past. We must speak to Mickey and investigate this phenomenal immediately.
A fine
Alright, where's Mickey?
Hey, how about we do something together?
Hey, pal. I'm afraid I'm not feeling too good. Yup, and gosh, was that a surprise when I looked in the mirror. There has to be some way to fix this. How did it all start? You know, it was the strangest thing. I just woke up like this. But that's not all. When I flicker, it's not just me flickering, it's the whole island. It's like I'm seeing some other world. And I think I'm starting to get sucked into it. Merlin thinks that you're caught between the past and the present. I guess that makes sense. But that must mean that other world you're seeing could be the past, or somewhere between the now and then. Good question. Do you think you can get this all figured out before I wind up stuck in that black and white world forever? Well, yeah, we gotta figure it out, because we just got Minnie back for you. We can't have you disappearing. Where's Merlin?
Oh yeah,
Right
this
now,
place has
we have
definite
work to
laugh
do.
potential.
It's just as I feared. The past isn't just leaking into the Isle. The Isle is also leaking into the past. If we don't stop this soon, I fear more villagers will be affected. Neither should I. We must
Oh, I just
thwart
love sunshiny
Jafar's
days.
machinations before this goes any further.
Outstanding.
Luckily, I believe I've found a secret path into the palace. Follow me.
Remember,
Off
laughter
with
is
you now.
power.
Lots to do, lots to do.
Where are you going? Come on, Merlin, you gotta keep up here, buddy.
Well, hello.
Drat, when did this appear? The secret entrance to the palace is an old cellar door tucked away right here in the lagoon. But now this rift in time has blocked the way. I'm afraid there isn't. I've already investigated teleportation, making you reamable so you could walk through the walls, disguising you as a statue and offering you to Jafar as a gift. But Jafar has mounted defenses against all of my plans. It will be tricky, but we must heal this rift in time to proceed. Got it. So how do we do that? The sparks magic. Therefore, if we close some of the other rifts, we may be able to weaken this one enough to seal it. How do we close the rifts? Can I use my hourglass? Unfortunately not. For this, we need a different sort of magic. Something that will allow us to tap into the power of the spark itself and turn it back to Jafar. I've done some research and it seems that the key to the spark's power is using your imagination. No problem, I'm great at that. But I fear even for one as imaginative as you, some help might be needed. I suggest you seek help from Oswald. Yes, and hurry. Seek help from Oswald so you can close the rifts and get us into the
I
palace.
happen to be the world's most powerful
Okay?
wizard. In case you were wondering.
I'm in a bit of a jam. Care to help?
I've got a funny question for you. Don't you worry, chum. I used to be funny. I'm used to funny business. Spring it on me and I'll tell you what's what. You've probably noticed things around the aisle are turning black and white, including my friend Mickey. Merlin told me we need to use our imaginations to close the time rifts. Have you come to the right rabbit? See, I've been doing some experiments of my own. You know, tossing a few things into those time rifty thin gummies to see what happens. You bet it was. And fun, too. Mostly nothing happened when I threw stuff in the rifts. But then I drew something funny on a napkin and tossed it in. After that, all I had to do was think about the rift closing and bam, it zipped right up. That's it. So all we have to do is make something using our imaginations, toss it into the rifts. Sure seems like it, except when I tried it again, I got bumpkiss. Upkiss. I think each rift's gonna be closed by a different Joe's imagination.
Oh, I just
Say,
know we're going to be good friends.
maybe you can try asking Rapunzel, Gaston, Eve, and that Mickey fellow you mentioned. Sounds like Mickey's in
What do you know?
heaps of trouble, so I bet he'd love to help. That Rapunzel sure has a great imagination. Gaston, well, since he imagined he's such a swift guy, he could probably imagine that about anything. And as for that clucking contraption, Eve, gee, I'd sure like to find out what she could imagine if she put her gears to it. Great idea. I'll talk to Mickey, Eve, Gaston, and Rapunzel.
I just love sunny days.
Oh, hey there!
I keep going to that funny black and white place for longer and longer. It's starting to scare me. Don't worry, Mickey. I think I know how to fix all this. But I'm going to need your help. Whatever you need, just tell me. You need to use your imagination to close up some of the rifts around the aisle. Really? Well, I just saw a rift open up. That's perfect. Why don't you show me where it is? You got it. Follow me.
See you real soon.
A fine day indeed.
Am I glad to see you?
Well, there it is. One giant time rift, just like you asked. How are we supposed to close it? Merlin said we need to use the power of our imaginations. It sounds like you and I will have to make something creative and toss it inside. But what should we make? That's a good question. Tummy rumble. Guess I forgot to eat breakfast. I could really go for a hot dog about now. Say, cooking is pretty creative, right? Why don't we make some hot dogs and toss those in? No, wait. If it's all about imagination, then we need to think bigger. Why don't we make a whole hot dog cart? I'll start drawing up some plans. Could you find the materials we need? Sounds good to me, but what should we make it out of? I'm sure there's some stuff right here on the aisle. You're right. Maybe I'll start with some brass and bronze ingots.
Thanks, pal.
This looks great. There's only one thing missing. The hot dogs. Lucky for us, I've got pretty good recipe for it. And hey, when I got brought to that funny black and white world, I found this neato hot sauce you can use. I'll get cooking. I guess I needed 2 hot dogs. Those are some nice hot dogs. I'll add them to the hot dog cart. Only one thing left to do. Let's meet at the rift. Here we are. What do we do now? We have to toss the hot dog cart into the rift. Gosh, really? After all we did to make it? If it'll help save eternity, I'll do it. Soon as I tossed in the hot dog cart the rift disappeared. Hot dog, it worked.
Thanks, pal.
Sweet. I'm so glad you're here. There's something I need to show you. I was exploring the aisle when this huge, jagged rift opened up right in front of me. That's funny, I was just about to come ask you about that. Those are time rifts, and I need your help to close them. You need my help? Well,
Yay!
I'd love to help you in any way I can. But wait, how exactly can I help you with this specific problem? Okay, I'm using it. Maybe I can hit the rift with my frying pan? Or try and sew it up with my hair? Not what I meant. I mean your imagination is the key to closing the rifts. Really? But how? I think this will go faster if I show you. Why don't you lead me to that rift you saw open?
Oh. Boy, howdy! This place is nifty.
Do you see it? It's so odd. Black and white can be wonderful for sketches, but when the whole aisle starts turning black and white, it's like having a big white canvas and only one color of paint to use on it. Don't get me wrong, they're fascinating. I just don't want any more to open. What if people or animals start getting sucked into them? That's what I'm hoping to stop with the help of your imagination. I'm not sure I understand. You and I need to make something together, something using our creativity, and then toss it into the rift. The spark's magic runs on imagination, so if we can just do that, we can turn the power of the spark back around and close the rift. Okay, got it.
Woohoo!
Only now that you've asked me to think of something creative, all of a sudden I can't think of anything. Okay, I'm focused. Creativity, imagination. Nothing's happening. Wait, the second I stopped thinking about it so hard, I thought of something. When Mother had me locked in the tower once a year, I would look out and see those lights in the distance. I'd love to build some floating lanterns with you. That sounds great. Why don't you start drawing up some designs while I find all the stuff we need? That sounds perfect. I think we'll need some tropical wood, bamboo, and rope.
Goodbye.
I have. Oh, that's cute. These are so beautiful, but there's something missing. That would be pretty, but it's not exactly what I meant. When I saw those lights in the sky, from my tower, it wasn't just the lights that were magical. It was also the wish I made and had held onto. That makes sense, so why don't we talk to some other villagers to discover what their wishes are? Then we can write their wishes on the lanterns before we throw them into the rift. That's perfect. Alright, who we talking to? The same people we're talking to.
I got a beef you gotta hear.
Just wondering what's your deepest wish. Check you out with the oddball questions. Let me think. You know, what? All my wishes have a funny way of coming true. Guess I'm just lucky like that. Seriously? What? So you don't have any big unfulfilled wishes? I got nothing. Guess I'm more of a hop into the day and see where it takes me kind of guy. Makes sense.
Have a swell day.
Hiya, pal.
Glad to see ya. Don't suppose you figured out how to fix whatever's going on with me, have you? I'm working on it right now. I just need one thing from you. Of course, just name it. What's your heart's deepest wish? Wow, you sure do ask some interesting questions, but if it helps, I'll tell you. I guess my deepest wish is just for me and all my friends to be happy together. Life's most fun when it's like one big picnic with your pals, don't you think? Hope
I've
that
really
helped.
lucked out. Mine.
I've got a funny question for you. What's your heart's deepest wish? Wally, plant, earth. Oh, right. I guess sometimes it really is that simple. That's what I'm talking about. You've got everyone wishes? Not Oswald's. He seems like he's just used to all his wishes coming true. But I got everybody else's. Great. I'll write them down on the lantern. Now follow me. Let's go toss them in the rift. Here we go. It's kind of like throwing an acorn into a cooking pot, isn't it? That's a game I used to play with my friend Pascal. Did you see that? The rift shrank and disappeared. Thanks for your help, Rapunzel. Couldn't imagine doing it without you. Imagine, haha, I get it. Are you okay? I kind of need your help with something, but if something's wrong, why don't we fix that first? You're pointing towards the ancient ruins at the docks. Do you want me to follow you? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Okay, I'll meet you there.
Directive?
So this is what you wanted to show me. That sure is a time rift. I need your help closing it. Think you can use your imagination? Not feeling too imaginative. Well, what if we ask for some help? Wally seems to have quite an imagination. Oh, for Wally. Wally, you need some help. We need to make something with our imaginations. But Eve's not feeling very imaginative. What's this, an old film projector? That's a great idea. We can make a movie. I'll go back to Eve and see what she wants to make a movie about. Wally had a great idea. We can make a movie. I can take some pictures of you and Wally around the aisle and make a film reel to project with this. Then we can watch it together. Who says robots can't use their imagination?
Wait! You must want to talk to me!
Toss it in there. Toss the projector into the time rift. Did you see that? It worked. The time rift closed. You really do have a great imagination. The last one is Gaston.
Wait!
Get out of my
You must
pumpkins,
want to talk to
dude.
me!
I'm convinced that the way you're running this island is the best. I've made a list of all the ways you could improve things here. Alright, fine. What do you need? Those black and white rifts around Eternity Isle, I need your help to fix them. How convenient. A very pesky one just opened up in my camp. Follow me, I'll show you.
You're leaving? How odd.
You see this? It's blocking my entire camp. It's pretty annoying, but I know just how we can fix it. We need to use our imaginations together and make something to throw inside of it. Who needs imagination when you have strength, courage, and cunning? Scared me? Of course not. Well, alright, I'm not scared, but it is something I've never really done before. That sort of thing is more for Belle or her father, Maurice. You know, odd people. Well, if it's something you've never done before, maybe you need an imagination coach. But who would be compatible of coaching me? capable of coaching me. I think I've got just the lucky rabbit we need. I'll go ask
Move
Oswald.
along.
That's it. Step
Need your
right
help.
up.
There's a villager who's having trouble tapping into his imagination. No problemo. Tell me who it is, and I'll have 'em imagine floating ponies eating ice cream in no time. No way. I ain't helping that palooka. He's hopeless. I was talking to him just the other day, and he started yammering about hunting me and turning me into a stew. You bet your magic fishing pole he did. Let me give you a piece of advice. That Gaston's got an ego even bigger than his biceps.
When I imagined
You want to
far-off
inspire him
places,
to be
I
creative?
never
Take
imagined this.
him someplace and show him something to remind him of his own heroism. That ought to do it. Not a bad idea. Thanks, Oswald. I'll go back and talk to Gaston. Oh, and don't worry about that hunting thing. I'll make sure that never happens.
Let's dust up.
All the sun,
What
and I'm
did
not even
that
breaking a sweat.
irritating rabbit say? Threatened? Huh. I was merely speculating on how easy he would be to hunt and whether it would be worth it. In the end, I decided he'd be much too stringy to make a satisfying stew. Let's just be clear. No hunting anyone. Got it? Fine, but you won't
A
stop me
fine
from
day
target
indeed.
practice. I have to stay sharp. Target practice is okay, but forget about that for now. What's important is Oswald suggested we go on a little island tour. An island tour. That's right, Gaston. We need to stir up your emotions, get you thinking of some of your past heroic deeds. Well, there is a place where I was first shipwrecked here on Eternity Isle.
There
That
are
was
so
an
many possibilities
exceedingly
for adventure
heroic
here.
moment. That's perfect. Lead the way. This is it. When I was shipwrecked on the isle, the wave carried us all the way here into the desert. Think about that moment. Remember the salty sea air, the waves crashing against the hull. How did you feel? How did I feel? Hungry, I suppose. This is helpless. This is hopeless. Maybe there's someone somewhere else I can bring you. Perhaps if I could see the whole area and imagine how it looked from above, that might spark something. Great idea. Let's try and find somewhere like that.
Fine. Go.
This is much better vantage point. From up here, the ship must have looked as tiny as one of those ships in a bottle.
Ha!
Wait a moment, ship in a bottle. That would be something imaginative. Where I come from, great sea captains would have woodworkers make a ship in a bottle to remember their most illustrative expeditions. We must make something like that. Wow, Gaston, I'm impressed. That's some good imagination. You start figuring out what the boat should look like. I'll gather some materials.
Goodbye.
This is just a bunch of wood and glass. I'm not very impressed by your making a ship in a bottle skills. These are just the materials. You have to make it yourself. Come on, let's go to it. If I must. There. What do you think? It's beautiful. Of course it is. It's the first thing I've ever imagined and came out perfectly. Let's go. Now we gotta toss it into the rift. It's so beautiful, almost a shame to toss it in there. But I suppose I can always make another. Did you see that? The rift shrank away to nothing. All thanks to my glorious imagination. Return to Merlin. Alright, Merlin.
Well, hello.
You've returned. Were you able to close some of the rifts? Yes. We closed a few. That is it. That it is. And I've no doubt it's the key to stopping Jafar. We must return to the palace at once. Follow me.
Thank you. Oh, hello.
Do you see that? The rift is weakened. It's shrinking away before our very eyes. Yes! Perhaps I can rely more on more villagers to use your imaginations to close our rifts. I cannot talk. While you go inside to stop Jafar once and for all. Now the palace is sure to be littered with relics of his experiments. So proceed with caution.
Look at all this dreamlight. You're doing
Alright,
quite well.
we'll continue the next video as we enter into the palace.